June is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I think we are all aware of that by now. Men are dying in silence, guys. And this is really concerning. This is not just some hype on social media. We see this daily, like in our everyday lives. We keep on losing brothers. We keep on losing fathers. We keep on losing friends. And I think we need to have more conversations about this. Our male figures are dying on a daily. And as ladies, I think to a certain extent, it is our responsibility to try and minimize this. Hi, welcome back to Healing the Inner Child with Mami Dalai. In today's episode, I want to talk about men's mental health. This is really concerning. Like, it hurts me so much because I have a lot of male figures in my life. I have 3 brothers whom I love a lot. My brothers are everything to me, and I can't really imagine losing them through suicide. And I just hope they know that they can count on me for anything. You know, growing up, I knew that my brothers loved me. But you know, growing up in a black family, there's always that boundary, of which was a good thing for me because I knew my place. My brothers also knew their place. But now growing up, you realize how, in as much as that might be a good thing, but we sometimes overdo it. Like, it wasn't really easy for me to share, you know, my feelings, my personal stuff, how I feel. Like, to share even, you know, your everyday things with my brothers. Because, by the way, they all have different characters. The other one, the oldest one, speaks a lot. Whew, that man speaks. And he's an empath. He's a firm believer. Like, he's outgoing. And then the second born, like, he's closed off. He doesn't really speak. It's very quiet. And Yana, like, it was more difficult for me to, like, get close to Lena because this man, I didn't even know because he was just too quiet for my liking. But I loved him regardless. And the other one, now we get a Shanya. He's not really closed off. But I think he's just, you know, mixture of this two, you know. Yeah, now 50%, he's in the middle. But now that I've grown, I took it upon myself to, like, create the relationship that we currently have, that my brothers and I currently have. I reached out. I tried to be a safe space for my brother. For my brothers, I mean, especially now that I know what I know about men's mental health. I reach out, I reaffirm them. I always tell them that they can always count on me whenever they have an issue. Whenever they need help with something, they can always reach out because also I'm the last born at home. So we have this thing of, you know, ngwana moshemane, especially le moholo, ngwana matsibulo firstborn. Everything under control. They need to have everything figured out. But I realized that is so unfair to men. That was so unfair to my brother. I mean, he's a human being, just like you and I. He has his own flaws. He struggles. And because, you know, I was raised by that man, so I understand. I saw, you know, in totally this step of growing up, especially because there was so much pressure on him. But now that I'm old, I'm like, I think I trying to switch the roles. I need to be the parent that he was to me. Even though he holds back and of which I understand. Especially because we come from the Basotho clan. But to be specific, Hesu. So whenever we know that thoughts are their chaser, but the pride, like ego ya bona, hey, but I made sure that I wasn't gonna stop until my brother understood that I'm there for him, you understand? And now things are very easy. They know they can always count on me for anything. And I'm proud of myself. I really am proud of myself. I'm happy. You know, men's suicide rates in South Africa is at its peak. Like, it's scary, guys. It's very scary, because stats say South Africa ranks 10th in the world for suicide rates, with men facing an alarming rate of 37.6 per 100,000 men. That is a lot, guys. That is a lot. Imagine we are 10th in the entire world. At the same time, as a society, we still expect men to have it all figured out. That is selfish, if you ask me. It's so unfair. And in as much as things are that hectic, we only find that only 1 in 4 men seek for help when they realize that they have a mental health issue, such as depression, anxiety, and etc. I blame society, like I really do. I think we have so much work that we need to do in trying to make this world a better place for men. Men are so under pressure. Mental health in men can look like, shutting down, and we feel for this guy is being bossy. Men acting as if everything is okay. Hustle culture. Men isolating themselves. Men finding it hard to open up to their loved ones, and etc. So guys, I think it's our responsibility to notice when we see such symptoms and realize that it's never really personal, because we like personalizing things. We like making things about ourselves, especially as women. So I think we need to do better in that regard. The moment you see such reactions from the men you love, I think you need to sit down and try to be more softer, because I don't think they enjoy doing that. They enjoy doing that. It's just that there's so much pressure. There's so many expectations from men, and it gets a lot, honestly. I understand them. There are public figures who've came publicly about their mental health. People like Andres Iniesta, the magician. I think we all know Andres Iniesta. If you follow football, you know him. He used to play for my team. He was one of the... You see Pedri. Do you follow football? Pedri reminds me so much of Andres Iniesta. So Andres Iniesta came forward about his mental health. He says this thing happened around 2010. You can just imagine, Andres Iniesta won the World Cup in South Africa with Spain. He actually won the World Cup for Spain because he was the goal scorer for that game. He was the goal scorer. He scored that goal, the winning goal. They won the World Cup. And I can just imagine, for his career, that was, yeah, you can just imagine. But Lotso Lejualo, who thought was still struggling with his mental health because he had lost his friend, it was hard for him to accept the death of his friend. One may think that Utla focus on more, the good side of things, which at that moment was winning the World Cup. But still, he still found it hard to focus on that fully because of Mkhotsuahai. I respect Iniesta. Like, I didn't know. I recently found out about this, actually. that he came forward about the struggle that he has with his mental health, and I respect him. I so wish many youngsters can learn from such. It's not just about fame. It's not just about performing well in the field. There's life outside football. There's life outside the field. And I so wish they can come forward, especially because they're criticized a lot when they don't perform in the field. So people like Andres Iniesta, like I respect him a lot for that, for coming forward. In South Africa, we lost a lot of men through suicide. Just to mention a few, Ricky Rick is one of them. He was a hip hop artist and he took his life. We're not sitting from the outside, everything right, Ricky was happy, but clearly that wasn't the case. That day, Patrick Shai, I think, he was an actor. Leonard did the same, he took his life, he committed suicide. So it's tricky, guys. Also, just because you're a public figure doesn't mean you should have everything figured out. Guys, I feel like as the public, as ordinary people, we need to be more kinder to these people. And unfortunately, they suffer in silence because that's about in public, because when they do that, we judge them. Guys, we need to do better. We really need to do better. We need to create more safe spaces for men. We need to make it our responsibility to come forward and offer our help to men. We know as society expects a lot from men. As a result, it's not easy for men to open up. It's not easy for men to be vocal about their challenges. It's not easy for men to accept when they're not doing well in life because we expect so much from them. So I think it's our responsibility, Rona, as a society to do better, to have such spaces for men to create, especially for those ones who are in our lives, those who are closest to us. Start with a brother, start with a cousin, start with a nephew, a friend. You don't really have to go out there and try to be this safe space for somebody that you don't really know. You start at home. Make it your responsibility to create this safe space for the men in your life. Early this year in March, my oldest brother was turning 50, and I planned a surprise party for him. Men didn't know. Oh guys, it was a lot planning. But then I realized that this guy had done so much for me. He actually continues to be a present brother and father to me. Guys, you don't understand. He still treats me like a baby. Like, even financially, I'm like, this guy, I wonder if I realize I'm independent. Financially, but yeah, man, like, you don't understand. Obviously, I won't get into detail. There's just a lot of things that he continues to do for me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna celebrate this man, and I organized a surprise 50th birthday. Oh, guys, he was so happy. You know, for the first time in my life, I felt like, you know what, man, you've made it. Because also that's the one thing that I've always wanted to do. It's about, like, when my brother reaches the ages of 50, I have to do something for him. I was either gonna send him on a holiday to enjoy himself and whatnot, but I was like, knowing my brother, knowing how much he loves family, I'm gonna do this thing at home. I invited families all around South Africa, Joburg, Sterkspruit, close friends from Aliwal North, Bloemfontein. Yeah, you name them. And he was so happy. So I think that's one of the things that I believe I'm doing well, guys, in trying to make mental health a bit better in Nebedere. Yo, this guy spoke about this, I don't know, sometimes I go every night, I'm like, wow. And to me, but the way I appreciate Chilenkateng guys, and I'm like, I realize that men don't really ask for much, but they're asking for us to be there, to be supportive, and to love them. So my message to any man that is watching this, you guys are loved, you guys are cared for, and it's okay not to have everything figured out. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be a mess. I just hope you have safe spaces in your life. You have people who have created that environment for you guys to be vulnerable, for you guys to open up, and for you guys to just be yourselves. And to anybody with a relationship with a man, I think we need to do better. Guys, we need to do better, especially us as ladies. Last week I saw a video on social media of a girl, and this lady was like, whenever she hears that a man is struggling, or whenever a man opens up to her, they're struggling, how believe it, she find it hard to believe them. You're a man, make a plan. You'll figure things out yourself. Why are you telling me? I don't care. Well, this is me just paraphrasing. And I sat down and gave who hurt this person? Who hurt this young lady? And they need to do better. I think this lady go from a place of hurt. It's not like she meant what she was saying, but because she's hurt. So ladies, I understand as much as we are hurt by this man that we love. Innocent. We are not victims. I think this thing it gotta get better between men and women. It has to come to an end. Until when, guys? Are we gonna continue fighting each other? Because the sad thing is that we are both hurting. This thing serves none of us. So if you love a man, please create a safe space for that man. Please reassure that man. Tell them that they can come to you for whatever and whenever they need it. Be present, be loving, and more than anything, please encourage them to remain alive. Please encourage them and affirm them for what they are needed in this life. We can't keep on losing the men that we love. Our brothers, our sons, our nephews, our friends, our colleagues. Enough is enough. Men's mental health matters. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Until next time.